Cosmic True Slasher Review.
It came about because a couple of years ago, I'd say 4 or 5 years ago, maybe a little more, we started asking ourselves, like, would it be okay? Would it be cool to bring in a real person into the game? It stemmed from a conversation, like we already discussed the fact that we never wanted to have real life murderers in the game. That's why you'll never have like Ted Bundy or even Jack the Ripper in Dead by Daylight, because we do not want to glorify actual violence, right?
Okay.
Right.
The next step from that was, okay, but if you don't have real life killers, then could we have real life people? Because the entity, grabs people from any sort of universe, even different timelines, even different versions of the world. We've established that already in our lore, so we could potentially have real life people being whisked away to the world of the entity. That's essentially what we're telling with each and every survivor that we made. Dwight Fairfield is a real person from our world that got whisked away into the world of the entity. So why not a famous person? I think one of the first ones that we tried to get was Tony Hawk. And
Oh my God.
I was super happy, thrilled. At some point, some wires got touched somewhere, and I managed to have a conversation with him on Twitter. And he told us that unfortunately his name is locked forever for video games. He can only be Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. That's it.
Mhm.
So fair enough. But it was exciting, and I got to have a chat with Tony Hawk. So yay. Put that in the bucket list. But then that idea always stayed with us. And of course, the danger with real life people is that they can do stupid things, right? Especially live people, because they're not done living. And so they could do more things, or you could learn about them and be surprised. And so we sort of tried to think of all the possibilities, and Nick Cage kept popping up because is, in a sense, is weird is there for everybody to see, right? It's hard to imagine that he would have another layer of even weirder shit that's hidden. He may, I don't know, but it feels
Probably
as
does.
if, yeah, fair enough. But probably, like, the weird thing is that he likes to put on his slippers and actually watch the Real Housewives or something, like, and that'd be weird about him. Anyway, we started talking about that, and we said, you know what, we have to do it. We have to at least try. Good thing for us, throughout the years, Behavior, like I said, made games for a lot of publishers and a lot of other licensors. So we do have contacts everywhere, especially in the movie industry. And so we reached out to a couple of people, Mr. Cage being famously absent from all social media. Like, he doesn't have much of an online presence. Very difficult to get in touch directly. But we managed to get in touch. We explained the situation. We explained what we wanted to do. And especially we explained the story we were going to build around how he got brought into the world of Dead by Daylight. And I believe that resonated. The other thing that we had in our back pocket is, and that we learned later, is his son is a big Dead by Daylight fan. So he already knew of the game. And that helped. But so we managed to nail that deal, and we started talking about how this is going to be. First of all, we're like, oh, we need to have outfits. Obviously, our game works with cosmetics and things. We're like, oh, fortunately, Nick Cage wears a lot of really interesting, outrageous things when he's walking down the street or on the red carpet. So we have a rich pot to dig from on this. That's really, really cool. And he that was part of what he wanted. He's like, yeah, obviously you can't do my characters from movies, because that's not what we're talking about here. Mm-hmm. But just, create outfits that I would wear. Like, sure, yeah, we'll do that, Mr. Cage.
Just an FYI, though, these will not be released yet, but they are in the works. I just wanted to do an FYI.
We're not talking about it yet.
Right,
No,
so
right.
that's what I meant. Like so. Okay.
So I'm giving too many details right
Matthew
now.
got in trouble is what happened.
No,
now.
I mean,
He did
if
not. No.
if I do these things and I don't make people from PR at least a little uncomfortable, I haven't done my job.
That is super fair. I also would like to imagine that if Tony Hawk used the perk light, he would jump on a skateboard. That was the design, right? It had to be. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the other thing. We're not gonna talk about the perks right now for Nick Cage.